Greetings, everyone. It's Wade Fransson, host of Created in the Image of God, with your sneak peek for this coming Tuesday night's show. And we have Imam Mekye Abdus Salaam back in the studio with us. Welcome, Mekye.
Well, appreciate you. And how are you doing, Wade?
I'm doing just great, and I'm very excited. We've almost burned up our whole time here, so we got to get the sneak peek out live now in the next couple of minutes because Imam Mekye has some very important business to attend to in just 4 minutes. So, but I could not be more excited about this second chapter in the Koran for beginners. And there's been just a lot of very interesting discussion on his interfaith library through my blog series, in which I talked about, among other things, the fact that in the Baha'i faith, there's no clergy, and my own belief that, in fact, Jesus took a step in that direction with his crucifixion and the ripping of the veil in the temple to actually abolish the priesthood. And so we've been having an interesting discussion about that. We've been having an interesting discussion on interpretation and the role of an imam in Islam to make sure that, whereas in Christianity we have the gospel according to John, the gospel according to Matthew, Mark, and Luke, that we don't have 1,000 different gospels according to whatever lame-brained idea you came up with this morning. And we'll also be talking about differences between the Bible and the Quran in terms of how they're structured and how they're read and understood. Mekye, are you excited about the show? What do you have to say to the audience in the sneak peek?
I am very, very, very excited because I think, out in the world, there are a lot of misrepresentations or misunderstanding about what the Quran is and what the Quran isn't. And, as I have conveyed to you on numerous occasions, the Quran is even explicit in and of itself about its revelation, in translation. God informs us that it's not a new revelation within itself, but one that confirmed those that came before it. And we believe that those confirmations had to be done because of so many, I wouldn't say corruptions, but more uh, things that were added, interpolations that were added to the scriptures, whether it was interpretive or an explanation of something that was ambiguous or vague at best. So yes, I'm looking to, share my knowledge and understanding of the Quran and, answer the questions or any questions that may come from the audience and you that may be a difficult answer, but, me personally, all I can do is give you the straight, authentic response and answer to, these questions and take my own personal opinions out of the equation.
Well, I'd like to go one more minute, and I hope I'm not going to make you late, but a couple things
Well,
occurred to me while
fine.
you were talking. One is, this morning I was reflecting on the fact that um, there's obviously a difference between information and opinion, facts and opinion. And information is also called power, right? So some people like to withhold information for whatever reason. And what we're doing here is we're trying to give information. We're trying to give facts so that people can independently investigate the questions that they need to investigate for whatever
Exactly.
divine purpose God wants them to increase in their understanding. And we'll be clear where it's an opinion, which is not unhelpful to have an opinion and to express that opinion, as long as everybody knows that's just my opinion and it's not authoritative. But here's some information and here's some facts that we know that are well validated.
No, I agree. And, like I said, I think when it comes to an opinion, it can become dangerous because, if someone is more inclined to follow you because you have an authoritative voice, then they may even unconsciously or subconsciously send forth a new message or an idea that may not conform to the original tenets or principles of that theology.
Well, and I've tried to express my reasons for resigning from the ministry, and that gets really close to one of them, is that I was well respected. Might be hard for some people to believe, but back in the day I was very well respected, and a lot of people followed me and wanted to follow me, and I didn't like it. I did not like it because I knew that I was just trying to figure it out myself. And in terms of figuring things out, Another thought that occurred to me, which we can get into on the show, so no answer needed now. There's this verse in the Quran about the seal of the prophets, which is helpful to Islam and Muslims to understand the role of their revelation in God's overall plan. But there's a very similar passage at the end of the book of Revelation where it says that, people must follow all the words of this book, but if anyone adds to it, the plagues and the curses in this book will be added to them. Those are very similar statements, and we're going to unpack that live on the show, so no answer needed. But I want to just remind everyone, this coming Tuesday at 8 o'clock Central Time, do not miss this show, Chapter 2 of the Quran for Beginners with Imam Mekye Abdus Salaam. Thank you so much for being with us, and
I appreciate you,
God's
Wade.
blessings to you.
Likewise.